We are live. Hi everyone, welcome back to Codera. Today in this video, we'll be discussing the Leetcode daily challenge for today, that is 21st of January. The problem name is gas station, and this particular problem has been previously asked in organizations like Amazon and Microsoft. This is rated as a medium problem. Although if someone is comfortable with the greedy algorithms, with the greedy approaches, then he or she can approach this problem very quickly. So please consider giving me a +1 in the chat if my voice is audible to everyone and my screen is also visible, and then we'll start within a minute or two. So please consider giving me a quick +1 in the chat if everyone is able to hear me, and then we'll start. Okay. Right. So this particular problem, that is gas station, right? This particular problem, that is gas station, has been asked in companies like Amazon, right? It has been asked in Amazon and Microsoft, right? And many other companies, but frequently it's been asked in Amazon and Microsoft, right? So talking about this problem, what does this problem say? So you have been given n gas stations, right? So there are n gas stations along a route, okay, along a route where the amount of the gas at the ith station is gas I, right? So there are basically n gas stations, right? There are basically n gas stations, and what you have been given is, for the ith gas station, the amount of gas that you will get there is gas of I, right? And what does this problem say further? This problem further says that you have a car with unlimited gas tank, so you can fill as much amount of gas you want to fill it in it, and it cost rupees cost of I of gas to travel from ith station to I plus 1th station, right? So the cost for traveling from the ith to I plus 1th station is cost of I, right? So you will get at the ith station, right? At the ith station you will get the gas I amount of gas that you can fill in your tank of your car, and then after that you will spend cost of I amount of gas to travel from I to I plus 1th station, right? This is what the problem says. Now furthermore, it says that you begin the journey with an empty tank at one of the stations, right? So you will be beginning, or you will be starting with the stations at one of the tanks, and that would depend on you, that is high once you get good, right? So in this what you will be doing is, you will be moving by one, right? If you move by one, if you move from the ith to the I plus 1th gas station, so the cost will be cost of I, and the gas is gas I, right, that you will get at that particular station. So you can start from any particular station, and you will be moving in, it says that you will be moving in a circular direction, right? So your journey will start with an empty tank, and you have been given two arrays, that is gas which is containing for the ith station how much gas you will be able to fill at that particular station, and cost that is cost of I, for that is for every particular station, what is the amount of gas that you will be spending to travel from the ith station to the I plus 1th station, right? So the starting gas stations index, if you travel along, you are traveling clockwise, right? So if there exists a solution, then you have to write the answer, because there will always be one unique solution, one unique station from where you can travel through all these stations in a circular manner. So you can assume that the array is somewhere circular, right? And in this particular problem, you have to return that what is the station that at which you should start, if it is possible to cover all the stations, right? So let's take the first example. So let's take this example that has been given to us, right? So this example says that in terms of gas, let me write it. So the gas is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? And the cost is what? Let me write the cost array as well. The cost array, all of you can consider giving me a quick +1 in the chat if this much part of the problem is clear, right? So the cost is 3, 4, 5, 1 and 2. Okay, the cost is 3, 4, 5, 1 and 2. 3, 4, 5, 1 and 2, right? This is the amount of gas, and this is the cost, right? So these are the two things that you need to consider. Now if I say that initially, let's say my tank is 0, right, and if I start from this particular situation, this particular position, all of those who are joined, please give me a +1 in the chat so that I know that everything has been working fine, and then I'll be moving ahead with the problem, right? So this says that the gas that you'll fill here is 1, and the cost to travel from this particular station to the next station, that is from the ith station to the next station, will be what? Will be it will be nothing but 3. So if I fill my tank with 1, if my tank is equal to 1 and I have to pay a cost of 3, like if I fill a gas 1 liter, let's say, and if I have to travel to the next station by using 3 liters, can I do that? No, I do not have enough. I will not be having enough, you can say, gas, right? So that's why what I'll be doing is I'll simply say that no, I cannot do this, right? So what I'll do basically is I'll check for the next station, right? I'll check for the next station. I'll mark my tank as 0 again, and I'll start from this particular station, that is this station number 2, whose index is 1 in terms of 0 based indexing, right? All those who have joined, consider giving a quick +1 in the chat and like the video as well, okay? So that I can know who all have joined the stream, right? So I am at this particular station. If I put a gas of 2 in my tank, if I put 2 liters of gas, and then what I have is, if the cost is 4, if the cost for traveling from this particular station to the next station is 4, can I do that? If I have just 2 liters of gas in my tank, hi Chirag Goel, if I have just 2 liters of gas in my tank, can I travel to the station which is asking me to spend 4 liters? No, I cannot, right? No, I cannot. So that's why I'll say that okay, I cannot do this, right? So next up what I'll do is I'll check for this particular station, right? I'll check for this particular station and I'll see if initially I'll make my tank as 0, right? So now I'm at this particular station, so I'll say that okay, my tank has become 3. Now my tank is 3. Okay, hi Aniket Yadav, hi Chirag. Okay, I can see a lot of people have joined us, so please consider giving a quick +1 in the chat if you are solving the session problem of the day, Leetcode daily challenges regularly, right? Okay, so I have in my tank I have 3 and I have to spend 5 liters of gas. I have 3 liters of gas currently that I can fill from this particular station, that if I start from here, and I have to spend 5 liters to travel to the next station. Can I do that? No. If I have 3 liters, I cannot spend 5 liters to go, right? I should either have equal amount or I should have surplus, right? So now next up what I can do is, what if I start from here? So my tank initially was 0. Now I am starting from this particular station, right? I am starting from this particular station, that is 4. So what happens from this particular station? Now I'll say that okay, my tank is 4. How much gas I require? The amount of gas I require is 1. The cost that I require is 1. So what will happen? I can simply spend it, right? So you will say that okay, I can move to the next station, right? So okay, I'll move. So now I'll say that okay, let's do this. So let's do the tank amount minus cost. So the tank amount would become what? Tank in my tank I'll just be having 3 liters left. Now I move to the next station. What is the amount that I'm getting here? I'm getting 5 liters. So I'll add this. So now I have total 8 liters. And the cost is 2. The cost at this particular station for traveling from this particular station to this particular station, assume that it is cyclic. So from the 5th station to the 1st station, the cost is 1, right? So that's why cost is 2. So that's why I'll be left with 6. So now what will happen? My tank will have 6 amount of water, 6 liters of petrol, or you can say gas, right? So if I have 6 liters, I add 1 to it for this particular station. I've moved to this station, so it is 7, and from this I subtract a cost of 3. So if I subtract 3 from it, so I get 4. So now my tank is having 4. After this station I move to this particular station, right? Hi Aman. Okay, so I move from that particular station to this particular station. What will happen next? Anyone can let me know. Now from this particular station, what will happen? I'll simply say that okay, since I am at this particular station, so I'll add 2 to my answer, right? I'll add 2 to my answer because the gas I can fill at this particular station is 2. So that's why it will be now 6. Now I have to spend 4 amount of gas here. So I'll say okay, I can spend that, so I can move from this station to the next station. So that means that I'll be able to save only 2. So my tank is having 2. So my tank is having how much? Tank is having 2 liters left, and I move to this station, so I can fill 3 liters more. So I fill 3 liters more. So total I have 5 liters of gas in my tank. Okay, and I have to spend 5 liters to travel from this particular station, that is station number 3 to station number 4, right? So I'll say that okay, I can go from this particular station to the next station. So that's why what will happen, I'll say that okay, I can spend 5. So what is the tank amount left? Now my tank is 0 and I've traveled through all. Now I move to this 4, right? So I can say that what I can say is I started from 4, I moved to 5, then I moved to 1, then I moved to 2, station number 2, then I moved to station number 3, then I moved to 4 again, right? So this is what I did, right? If this much part is clear to everyone, please consider giving a quick +1 in the chat. If this much part is clear to everyone, please consider giving me a quick +1 in the chat, right? Okay, I hope so. Since this much part is clear to everyone, now next up what we would be doing is we will see that okay, we could do it, right? But what's the reason for that? We searched. What we did was we applied a very greedy approach. In which what we tried to do, what did we try to do? So basically what our thought process was that you just simply keep a check on the final amount that you'll have, that if from a particular station if your tank at the end is greater equal to 0 after spending, so what you do is you basically make your tank initially as 0, then you start from the ith station and you move and you keep on moving until you come back to the ith station, right? And during that time what you do is you do tank plus is equal to gas of I, right? The amount of gas that you can fill at that particular station minus cost of I, right? This is what you do. Now if at any moment of time, if this particular thing, that is gas of I minus cost of I, like if at any particular point of time it happens that you are not having enough amount of gas to move to the next station, right? So in that case you will terminate, like we had station 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all these stations, but from this station 1 we could not move. Why we could not move? We could not move because we had 3, 4, 5, 1 and 2, right? We had 3, 4, 5, 1 and 2. So I could not move from the first station, I could not move from the second, I could not move from the third, I could move from the fourth, and I could travel from the fourth to fifth to 1 to 2 and to 3, right? 2, 3. So I could make a complete circle, right? If this much part is clear, please give me a +1. So what I am saying is since you want to apply since you want to apply a greedy approach, right? So you start from all these stations, right? You check for all these stations, right? Basically I start your I from n, I is lesser than I start from 0, I is lesser than n, I plus plus, and what you do is you check for every station, right? From this particular ith station you check until your ith station back, right? So you are checking for all the n stations and you are checking from this station to, and then you are coming back, right? So this loop will also take order of n time. So from a particular station you check that for the ith station you check that from this ith station whether it is possible or not to come back to the ith station such that your tank never goes negative, right? So that means that it is always possible for you to travel from the ith station to the next station and then to the next station, like this. Okay, if that is possible, then you always say that yes, we can do that. If you want me to write the code for that part, so I'll just give you a little bit of brief on that part, right? Just let me move this. Okay, right, so let me give you a little brief on this part. So what I would be doing is, like, if I had to tell you about a brute force approach, so I starts from 0, I is lesser than n. Okay, I'll do an I plus plus. After that, what will I do? I'll say that okay, n is equal to nothing but gas length. Okay, after that what I would be doing is I'll mark my total as 0, I'll mark my count, you can say, as 0 as well, and I'll mark my j to I, right? After that what I'll do is I'll do while j is lesser than n. Okay, j will always be lesser than n because I don't want it to exceed. So what I would be doing is I will be doing total plus is equal to nothing but, as I told you, gas of j modulus n. Why I am doing this? Because I am doing a circular thing, right? So that's why I am taking mod, so that every station is being covered like this. Okay, j mod n, like I'm subtracting cost and gas. After that, if at any point of time, if the total amount of gas in my tank becomes negative. So that means that from that particular ith station it's not possible to come back to that particular ith station back, right? Assuming that there are a lot of intermediate stations in between. So that's why you will not consider that particular station, and then you will say that okay, we need to move to the next station, right? This is what you will do. So this was a brute force part, that is for each station you check that whether, for each station, that is for all the n stations, you check that whether it's possible to move from the ith station, that is for each of the ith station you check whether it's possible to move from the ith station and come back to the ith station or not. If that's possible, so that will mean that every time your total will be greater or equal to 0, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everyone, right? Is it? TC will be, yeah, time complexity will be order of n square, right? So in the internal part it will be n, it will be order of n, right? So that's why overall time complexity would be order of n into order of n, which will be order of n square, right? How can we do something better than this? So for this particular thing, let me take some test case. Let me take the same test case. Okay, so let's take this test case, that is I have gas which is 1. If this much part is clear, so please consider giving a quick +1 in the chat, because I am moving to the better optimal solution, right? I am moving to the optimal solution now. What I would be doing is I have a gas and I also have this thing, right? So I also have 3, 4, 5, 1 and 2. Okay, so the cost that I have is 3, 4, 5, 1 and 2. So when will I say, when the question is, in the question it's asking that if it is possible to move from a particular index, from a particular station, such that you come back in a circular manner. In that case, you do what? You simply have to return the starting index, right? You have to return the starting station, the value of the starting station. If that's not possible, so you will return a -1. So quickly let me know, when will you return a -1? When will you return a -1? When will you return -1? When it will not be possible to from any station to come back to the station, right? So if you have started for all the n stations, if it is not possible to come from the ith, to start from the ith station and come back to the ith station by refueling at the stations and giving some cost, right? If it's not possible, then in that case you will say -1, right? If this much part is clear, please write clear in the chat. So that's why in this case what you will do is you can simply take a cumulative sum, right? You can do what? You can start like this. You can start your I from 0. I is lesser than, or I should say like this. Okay, I know that you will be able to assume this. So what I will be doing is I can say that if my total plus is equal to the gas that I'll be spending at the ith station minus cost of I, if the overall gas that I am filling and the overall gas that I am spending on my travel, if the difference between the two, if the overall amount of gas that I am filling minus the overall amount of gas that I am spending in my travel, if this difference comes out to be positive or equal to 0, right? If the total is greater or equal to 0 at the end for all the values I starting from 0 till n, if for all these stations you add the amount of gas that you will be taking at that particular station and you subtract the amount of gas that you will be spending to travel from that particular station to the next station, if this particular summation is coming out to be greater or equal to 0, so that means that the circular travel is possible, right? That means that the circular travel is possible, right? Okay, is this much part clear to everyone? Chirag and others, please give me a +1 in the chat if this much part is clear to everyone, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? Please comment down below that this much part is clear, right? And then I'll be moving further, right? I hope that this much part is clear, right? So what I'm saying, what do I mean by that? So let's just quickly discuss this part as well, right? Okay, so let me discuss this part with you. So what's the sum? So this is nothing but the difference here is -2. Let me take another array. Let's take this gas minus cost, right? This particular array. So for this particular array, the difference will be 2. For the 1 minus 3 is -2, right? This 2 minus 4 is -2. Then what do I have here? Here also I have -2. Here I have 3, and here I have 3, right? So I take the sum. So what's the sum? Here the sum is -6. Here the sum is what? 6. So that's why the overall sum comes out to be 0. So since my total is greater equal to 0, that's why what I'll do is 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 what I would be doing, what I will do. Okay, Aniket Yadav, it's clear to you as well. Okay, right. So what I would be doing is my total should be greater equal to 0, right? That's what I'm saying. My total should be greater equal to 0. If the total is greater equal to 0, in this case, it will mean that it's actually possible, right? The amount of gas that I'm filling in my tank is actually helping me to bear the cost of the gas that I have to spend, right? So that's why I'll say that my overall, if my tank is either my tank is empty after the complete circular travel, or my tank is what? My tank is in positive. It is having even some amount of gas left. It is having some amount of gas left. Either it is completely empty after traveling a circular path, or I have some left after traveling whole circular path. I have some amount of gas left. So these are the two situations in which I will say that okay, that circular travel is possible, right? So let me quickly erase this part, right? So this much part must be clear. So now the thing is that how do I find that particular station which will be my answer, right? Because there is only one unique station from which I'll be starting, and it's, as the question mentions, there will be only one station from which I would be starting and I'll be getting this thing, right? So what I could do is I could start from all these stations, right? I could mark a start station. Initially I can think that okay, my start station would be 0, right? So what I could do is I see what's the difference between the two stations, what's the difference between the gas and the cost. So this is nothing but -2. So can I travel from the first station to the next station? No, I cannot. So I'll say okay, I cannot pick this one, right? I cannot pick this one. Then next up what I'll do is I'll say that okay, can I move from the second station to the next station? So I feel I can, if I start from the second station, if my start is equal to 1, start is equal to 1 means the indexing part, right? This is the 0, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. This is nothing but index, right? This is nothing but index. So what I would be doing is this thing, right? So that will be nothing but this, right? So I am at 2. So if I am at 2, then at this particular station, so I will have to spend 4. So I cannot do that, right? Because it will the tank would go minus, right? So now let's say that if my starting position is the index number 2, right? If I'm starting from this particular station, so if I can fill if my tank was initially 0, so I can fill 3, and I have to spend 5 to go to the next direction, right? So that means it is negative. So that is why I'll not be able to move, right? So I'll say no, I cannot do that. Okay. After that, what I'll say is that let's come to the next station. Let's come to the next station, right? So the next station is what? The next station is this station. This start is equal to 3. So index number 3 and station number 4, right? So I come to this particular station, and what's the value? It is 4, and I am doing a -1 from it, right? So Aman is giving a +1. Thanks, Aman, right? So is this much part clear to everyone? Just let me know in the comments, right? Let me know in the comments. Okay. So I'll say okay. Can I say that okay, it's positive? I'll say okay, it's 3, it's positive, right? Then I'll say that okay, currently in my tank I have 3, right? Then I move to this particular station. What do I have? I have 5. So that means 5 minus 2 will give me 3. So the current is what? Current is still 6, right? So if my current becomes, if the current capacity in my tank, if the current amount of gas in my tank, if whenever it becomes 0, so that will be the situation when whenever my current becomes 0, in that particular situation I would be saying that okay, I cannot travel, right? I cannot travel, right? Is this much part clear to everybody? Is it right? Okay, let me show you like how I'll be writing the code for that particular part. So what I would be doing is I can say that okay, I'll be starting from 0. Okay, I is lesser than n. Sorry for the writing. It just let me write it again. Let's write it again. Okay, let's write this again. So let's say what let me show you the code instead, so that would be better. So if up till now everything is clear, so you can just comment down a +1, or you can write clear in the chat, right? Up till now, is everything clear to everyone? I can see 8 people are watching us live, so please consider giving a quick +1 in the chat, okay? And please like the video if you haven't done that. So what I'm saying is you will be given, let me increase the font, right? So what I'm saying is What I'm saying is my current amount that I have in my tank is 0. The total is what? Total is nothing but the cumulative sum of gas of I minus cost of I, right? And the difference is what? The difference is nothing but the current difference, that is gas of I minus cost of I, that I'll be taking, and the starting index that I have as initially thinking will be 0, right? What I would be doing is I'll be iterating for all the I starts from 0 up till gas dot size, that is I is less than n. Okay, what I would be doing is, what is the current difference? The current difference, the difference of the ith index is what? Gas of I minus cost of I. Thanks, Ritik. Right. So what I'll do is I'll add the cost. This is what? This is the total cost that I'll be having. This is the cumulative sum. What is this total? This total is nothing but this total is nothing but what? This total is for all I starts from 0 I till n. For all the indexes, I am taking the cumulative sum of gas of I minus cost of I. I have told this in the video just a little bit back. If you'll just move back, so you'll get this part, right? So this is the total cost. This is the total cost that I'll be having. If this ultimate cost, if the total cost in the end, that is the summation of the difference of the ith amount of gas that I'll be spending and the cost that gas that I'll be filling in my tank, and the cost that the amount of gas that I'll be paying to move to the next index. So that is the total sum that I am taking. After that, what is the current? Current is nothing. You will say that okay, current and total seems to be same, but current and total is not the same. Because why? Because whenever I told you, right, that every time I'll be starting from 0. I'll start my tank from 0 whenever I notice an index such that I am not able to come from it, right? If there is a particular index at which my tank becomes negative, so that means that I will not be able to travel to the next station, right? So that is what I am doing. So whenever I see that my the current tank becomes negative, so I'll say that okay, that will no longer be my starting point, and I'll start from the next index, right? I'll start from the next station. I'll start my journey back again from the next station to see that whether from that I plus 1th station I can travel back to that I plus 1th station, right? So that is why I'll mark my start as I plus 1 and current as 0. So from this particular station, I'll reset my tank value as 0, and then I'll keep on adding in my current, right, like this. And in the end, once this loop is over, so if my total is greater or equal to 0, if in my tank I have, after traveling through all the n stations, if the total amount, that is the difference, cumulative difference between all the gases that I'll be filling for at every station and the cost that I'll be paying at every station, if that is greater or equal to 0, right? So if my tank is in positive, if after traveling all the n stations, if there is no gas left in my tank, or if there is some gas left in my tank, in all those cases my total would be greater or equal to 0, right? So for all those cases, I'll simply return my start index, right? And that's the start index is what? Initially I've marked it to 0, but I'll keep on updating whenever I see that my tank is going negative, right? So at that particular point of time, I'll keep on updating, and there is only one unique start that you can have in this question, right? This has also been mentioned, so that is why you'll return it. Otherwise, if the total is in the end, the overall cumulative sum, that is total amount of gas that I'm filling, subtracting the total amount of gas that I'm spending, if that is not positive or 0, so that means that I'll never be able to travel in a circular path. So that's why I'll return a -1. Please consider giving me a quick +1 in the chat, and please write clear in the chat. Please like the video if this much part is clear to everyone, right? So what I'm doing basically is, what I'm doing in this question is the time complexity for this particular question is order of n, right? The time complexity, okay, for this particular question is order of n, and the space complexity for this question is order of 1. Is my implementation that I've done it. You can find the code of this particular implementation that I've done in the comments as well, right? So I'm saying that the time complexity is order of n. Why? Because we are traversing through the complete array only once, and the space complexity is nothing but order of 1, right? Because we are not using any extra data structure or anything like that, right? So this question has been previously asked in Amazon. It is also let me write it. Okay, so this question has been previously asked in Amazon. It has also been asked in Microsoft, right? So also it has been asked in a couple of more companies. So that's why you should do this question. Come back to this video again, and once you submit the problem on Leetcode, so come back to this video and comment down that you have submitted the Leetcode daily challenge for today, that is 21st of January. That is, you have submitted the gas station problem, and I'll be looking into your comments and will be giving a heart to that particular comment so that you can maintain the consistency. Also, if someone has followed my greedy mastering codeforces greedy series, right, so he or she would be able to do it very much clearly. So that's it from my side for today. Thanks a lot everyone for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Please comment on your feedback on this video, like how you liked it and what are the improvements